Hey everybody, Shannon here from The Girl Who Couldn't Save, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the P word, pregnancy, pregnancy, and business. So I'm going to be talking about how pregnancy tanked my business and also made it so much better at the same time. Something as beautiful and as wonderful as being pregnant with a child do something terrible to my business. Now, if you are someone who's watching this video because you are going to start trying, you're already trying right now, and you have a business and you're wondering, how is this going to affect me? This may not do this to your business at all. There are plenty of women who have healthy pregnancies who go on to still be like kicking ass and recording videos. Obviously, this is my second pregnancy. If you haven't, if you didn't put two and two together, this is my second pregnancy. So it actually isn't this pregnancy that tanked my business. It was the pregnancy with my daughter. This pregnancy has been completely different. This pregnancy, I've been able to crank out videos, be more productive, get a lot of stuff done. And that just might be because I'm a new parent and having hours and you just kind of find this fire within you. But this pregnancy is completely different than my first that tanked my business and then made me actually get my finances together. So I have pregnancy to thank for so many things. So please, if you are trying, you're just started getting pregnant, and now I'm just fueling fear into you, don't watch this video because your pregnancy may be completely different. If you are pregnant and you're wondering, is anybody else going through all of this shit that I am going through? Whether it's these physical symptoms that can come along with pregnancy that are so exhausting and draining, from nausea to gosh, so many things, right? There's so many things that come, but nausea for me was always the first because it was just nausea and vomiting in my first pregnancy. It was exhaustion in the third trimester. It was not wanting to be on social media at all. I wanted no part of social media. I had no motivation. I didn't want to do anything. And I actually see that a lot in some of the pregnancy groups that I'm in, that women, when they become pregnant, I'll hear a lot of people say, does anybody else just not feel motivated at all? And it was really strange for me because I had been so like hustling and so about like creating and working all the time that when pregnancy hit me, I was just like, okay, this is weird. And then, of course, there's always so many different symptoms that can come along for you and can come along with any different type of pregnancy that you're having. But if you're here because you are having this and you're wondering, am I normal? Is there something wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Pregnancy is a hell of a lot of work. It is. You are building a freaking human being. So the idea that you're putting this pressure upon yourself to also do all of these other things and be pregnant and build a person at the same time is like, no, of course you're going to be exhausted, or of course you're going to be frustrated, or of course you're going to have fears and doubts. Like there's so much fear and anxiety that just goes into pregnancy, just hoping everything goes smoothly, hoping the baby's healthy. There's so many other things that play into it. So what I want to tell you about now is about my personal story that happened that completely changed my life, that really made me start this girl who couldn't save type of brand. I recently was only just Shannon De Palma Co. And Girl Who Couldn't Save came from that pregnancy because it taught me so much. I had been running a successful coaching business for the past 2 years. And I was taking on one-on-one clients. I was filling programs. I mean, the whole thing, like it was like what all of us dream about as coaches or as female entrepreneurs, is to have that full one-on-one client roster, open a program and get it full, open a mastermind and have a $30,000 launch. I had $30,000 months, $30,000 launches. I was just exactly where I wanted to be in my business. It was just like this beautiful moment. And I was just so happy to have finally felt like I did it. I made it. I'm here, right? And towards the end of my second year, I had a full mastermind. And then I started putting out some other programs in between. I was kind of just like really constantly in a launch cycle in my business, which was not healthy at all, by the way. And I would never suggest for anyone to do it. But in my second year, that was where I was. Things were going great. And I kind of had this little nudge from my intuition saying, this is not going to work. This is not going to work forever. And towards the end of that second year, my husband and I had discussed we were going to start trying then. And I was like, I'm getting these nudges and I'm getting these whispers that this way that I'm doing business is not going to work. It's not going to work when I'm pregnant. It's not going to work when I have a baby, but I don't know anything else. This is what I've done to be successful. So it's going to be what I'm going to keep doing. So towards the end of that second year, I was like, there's something going on. There's something that needs to change. And I started looking into creating evergreen courses. And I was just starting to like dabble in like actually creating something in my business that felt less of me hustling all the time for it. Started trying for a baby. And I was very lucky enough to get pregnant within the first 2 months of trying, which was incredibly lucky. And I was also going into a launch. Again, I was just constantly launching, I think, in the second year of my business, which was not good, by the way. But anyway, so I went into another big launch. I had launched the Successful Mastermind at the beginning of the year. It was a $30,000 launch. I love the program. I love the women in it. So as I was going into this launch again, here I was going into my first trimester. And I was sick as a motherfucking dog. I was so sick. I mean, I puked probably with my daughter. I was puking probably like 3 to 4 times a day, all day. Every smell made me just disgusted. I mean, if you're pregnant right now, like, how overwhelming and how overpowering this is. So as I'm going into this launch, I am so sick. I cannot show up in the way that I typically showed up in my business for the past 2 years. So I had showed up in my business just always like doing Facebook lives, lots of interaction with me, lots of energy. And my programs were always full of giving lots of one-on-one support, giving away calls, things like that. And, sometimes they felt good for me to do it. I love connecting with other people and I love getting to know them one-on-one. But sometimes I think I was doing it just so I could feel like the program was worthy of the price. So anyways, go into this launch. And as I'm going into this launch, I start spending more and more money. So I started spending money on Facebook ads. And I was like, okay, I just need more and more of my audience to grow. And I'll get to the place that I want to be at with my business. When I say it out loud, I'm like, that sounds really dumb. But like at the time, I thought, I just need more and more people in my audience. This is a successful program. It's worked before. I can do it again. And that launch ended with one woman signing up. And I had spent probably around $15,000 in Facebook ads. And no, it didn't come out of a savings account. It didn't come out of profit that my business had built from the quarter before. It went on a credit card. And so as I was going into my second trimester, things had finally, started to change and shift. My nausea started to subside. Everything started to subside. But here I was with $15,000 of credit card debt and no motivation at all to launch programs, sign one-on-one clients. I had just lost I didn't even want to be on social media. I had lost every motivation for my business, every single feeling, every single thing. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do now? Because, here I was pregnant and no real way of creating lots of income because I just couldn't. Like pregnancy just changed me and I just couldn't do it. So what I needed was I needed a financial revolution. I needed to understand that I need to pay off debt. I need to save money. I needed to become, the woman who makes confident financial decisions, the woman who wants to be wealthy, not just the woman who wants to make a lot of money. And this was when really I started just changing the way I was looking at my money. I also had to change the way I was looking at my money and thinking and doing with my money because I had no fucking money coming in. Like I had no money coming in, right? Um, so I had to figure out with the money that was coming in, what was I going to do with that? What was I going to be able to, um, how was I going to be able to sustain myself before or after my daughter is born? What was I going to do? So while I was in this pregnancy, I really started thinking about the way I had been spending money, the way I had been saving money, the way I had been feeling about money. And what I had found was that, yeah, I had had $30,000 months. I had had $30,000 launches. I had months where I had $14,000 profit in my business. And I still carried $17,000 of personal credit card debt. I wasn't carrying business credit card debt, which is what I got into after that failed launch, but I was carrying personal credit card debt. And I looked at and I thought about it one day and said, why? Why? You were making a good amount of money. Why did you not pay off your credit card then? And I really was just like curious as to where my mind was. And so my mind just kept thinking, I'll just keep making more money. And pregnancy taught me, "Mm-mm, no, that's not the answer, Shannon. That's not the answer. The answer isn't make more money. It's not the answer. I promise you that. If you're in debt right now and you're trying to get pregnant or you're in pregnancy and you're thinking, I just need to make more money. I just need to power through this pregnancy. I just need to do this other thing. I just need to sign another client. I'm telling you right now, it is not the answer, especially if you are pregnant. The last thing you need is to try to push through and sign another client and do another live and whatever. You need to listen to your body. You need to build a freaking baby and you need to take it easy on yourself. And the easiest way you can do that is to actually manage your money. So I had been using something called You Need a Budget while I was in those 2 successful years of my business. And I used it to really just like count, like just look at my money really. I just used it for the purpose of just being able to show my money where I wanted it to go. But I never used it in a way to pay off debt, right? I did, in all fairness, I did use it to pay off around $9,500 of business credit card debt, but I could have paid off way more. And I really just wasn't using the software in the way to maximize it. And now I had figured out this new way of managing the little bit of money that I still had coming in and figuring out, okay, I can actually put this here and put this here and put this here. I will be completely debt free. I will be completely debt free, which is so exciting. And it was my worst freaking year ever, ever. And I did it somehow because I learned that managing my money was the key. So pregnancy saved my business. It did because the way I was going, whether I got pregnant or not, whether we decided to build a family or not, I personally was going to burn out with the model that I had going. It wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work. And I knew that. And what was really important to me was having a family and starting a family and being present with my daughter and being present with now the son that's coming along and being present with my husband. And I knew the way I was going wasn't going to work. So pregnancy saved my business and it ruined it at the same time. It ruined a business that was no longer aligned. It ruined a business that was no longer going to work. And it ruined stories for me around that I need to always be hustling, launching, putting one-on-one support in, giving people lots of my energy and time in order to make money. And it ruined that terrible story for me, which I'm so thankful for that it did, because now I get to create a new story with my business. And now I have almost a brand new business, I would say. It still is the same stuff I was talking about a little before in my coaching business, a lot of stuff around money mindset, charging your worth. But now there's also this other piece of financial management, because that's what truly matters. Like if you just keep saying to yourself, you're just going to keep making more money, you're just going to keep making more money. And that's when you'll pay off the debt, buy the bigger house, whatever. I am telling you right now, it will not happen. It will not work. I promise. All right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making more money. I want everyone in the world to make more money. But if you think that that's the solution to the problem that you're having with money, it's not. Manage your money well. Love your money, become debt free because you deserve it. Build a big ass savings account, which, yes, I ended up doing. I have a 6-month savings account. I've never saved a freaking penny in my life. So you deserve it. Trust me. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn how I built the 6-month savings account, I have a link down below with a video and worksheet showing you exactly how I did it. If you want to learn how I booked $10,000 clients in my coaching business 2 years ago, you can feel free to click on the link down below and I'll show you exactly how to write 4 Facebook posts that attract $10,000 clients. And if you just want to hear more about YNAB, you need a budget, financial management for female entrepreneurs, stories about being pregnant and being a female entrepreneur and how it wasn't all roses, or any more things about being a mom and being a female entrepreneur, feel free to hit the subscribe button and like this video. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me again. My name is Shannon. I am the girl who couldn't save, but who now. Thanks, guys. Bye.